Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Welcome to the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel from the heart of the Deep South on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama. Today, a little bit of a different video. I just wanted to kind of do a explanation on the direction of what I'm doing with this YouTube channel, kind of the reason for its existence, and kind of how it started out, a little bit of where the channel's heading, and kind of my thoughts on YouTube and the vinyl community in general. So I'm kind of calling this the art of the record review, and kind of the mission statement of BellisarioSonic YouTube channel. Just for those of you who are curious about the name, Bellisario is my last name, of course, and BellisarioSonic is what I chose to call the small company that I have, that I've done some recordings of myself, as well as a jazz artist here in Birmingham, Jose Carr. I did recorded a promotional CD for him live, and produced this and mixed it and mastered it, and we released it as a promo. So this is one of the projects that I did, under the BellisarioSonic label. And then we did a documentary on Jose, and I directed this documentary. So that's just a little bit about kind of where the name came from. And the channel kind of started out being kind of a thing, my reflections on different things about music. And it's still kind of that, but since vinyl records are now becoming, they're selling about 50 million records a year in 2024. And of course, since it's a far cry from the 350 million that were sold in the late 70s per year, when the vinyl was at its height, of course, it dropped off drastically in the late 80s and didn't come back until, 2013, something like that, about a decade ago, that it started picking back up. So we're still a far cry away from the old days where you went to Tower Records and the aisles were filled with people on when the new releases came out. I remember going to Tower Records when I was in San Francisco years ago, and I remember how packed it was. But yet in our culture now, there's a lot of retro. People like the young kids and stuff like things that are nostalgic retro. And it kind of freaks me out when people refer to the 80s as being retro, and then I think back to when I was a kid in the 80s and I looked at my parents' stuff that happened in the 50s as being a long time ago, and now I look at the 80s and it's further back than what it was for me. The 50s were in the 80s, so that kind of freaks me out a little bit. Anyway, that being said, my generation, of course, grew up with records, and I think our age bracket, I would say, mid 40s to 50s and up, are really the driving force behind this resurgence in record collecting. And it's being, of course, accelerated by the younger generation who are starting to buy records. And if you look at the upcoming release calendar every week, it's amazing how many new titles and reissues are coming out every week. It's pretty incredible. So it's challenging to try to decide what records are worth purchasing. And so I found that the YouTube channels that had comparisons and vinyl reviews and things like that of things that I were interested in, I thought those were helpful to me. So I think honest record reviews, they help determine how we're going to spend our money. And I do appreciate the channels out there that have honest comparisons and they review titles and versions. And on this channel, I've decided that playing the record for you kind of gives you a different perspective on the record review. And of course, if you're looking to make money on YouTube, that does not help you out a lot, because most of my videos get demonetized because I'm playing the record. But I'm not on here to make money. I'm on here for the passion of record collecting and music in general. Just to give you an idea, I think right now I'm at $1.15 in my YouTube account for how much I've made on my videos thus far. So what I am gonna say is that once I get enough to buy a record, I'll let you know, and I'll put something up where you guys can pick what record I'll buy with my YouTube earnings. Now that might take 3 or 4 years for me to get up enough money to do that, but I'll let you know when I get there. That we'll have a little fun with that. So I decided to do live reviews because nobody was doing that. It's something that I'd always look for. Is anybody playing the record? And of course, I'm not putting down any of the people out there that are doing the reviews by, putting up their listening experience and rating and all that stuff. All that stuff is fine. But I just started to do the live reviews because something wasn't being done. And again, I'm not looking to make a living off the YouTube channel. The channel started out was just a vehicle to express my various thoughts about music in general. And so you'll see I do some educational videos on music. I've done kind of the history about vinyl records. I did like a 3-part series on that, explaining all the way from the cylinder all the way up to now. So I like doing those. I don't do as many of those, but I still enjoy doing those. I like to do a lot of reading, so I like to also promote books and reading material and things like that. So that being said, the direction of the channel certainly changed and oriented it more towards recorded music and doing record reviews and music reviews, even documentaries and DVDs. Sometimes I'll do those. I've been collecting records since I was 7. Since I first pestered my mom in the department store to buy me Kiss Alive 2. And she just got tired of me pestering her and finally said, give me the record and put it in the cart. And that was my first record. I started playing guitar late, and I'm a big music fan. I played in a lot of bands. I started playing guitar around 18 years old, which is considered to be pretty late, but I've been playing music ever since, doing my own recordings, things like that. I played in a lot of bands, been to a lot of concerts, and I really love music. And I think music is one of those languages that speaks to everybody. It doesn't matter your social status, your culture, your geographical location. All of us can appreciate music. So my passion for music is why I do these videos. And I buy all of my own records or CDs or whatever it is I'm reviewing. So I have unbiased opinion on these. When I give you the review, it's a genuine review of what I think. So what you see is what you get. And I don't script most of my videos. Sometimes I'll do an outline if I'm going to talk about a historic subject or something like that, so I don't forget something. But most of the time I just turn the camera on, I open the record up in front of you, and I play it and talk about it. And I'll pull up a couple of web pages that has some of the information, background information on the page and things like that, so I can give you some historical background on the album. So I keep them pretty simple. I think there's certain characteristics that make record reviews helpful. So I wanted to go through those with you just very quickly. There are 10 things that I thought help make make the art of record reviewing profitable for people to watch. And that's what I'm trying to do for you guys. It's fun for me, but I also want it to be informative and helpful for you guys, and also fun for you guys. So these are the 10 things I came up with, and leave your comments on here on if there's anything I'm leaving out or other things you're interested in that I don't mention. So these 10 things are characteristics that I feel make for an artistic record review. Number 1, the review cannot be biased, has to be honest. You have to be clear on your likes and your dislikes, and I think you have to offer your own personal opinion from your own unique perspective. So I think that that's what makes it fun for people to be able to watch other videos. I want to hear their perspective, learn from them, something I may not have thought of. So I try to do that with the videos. Number 2, I don't like heavily scripted videos. So I like the videos to be somewhat improvised with little to no editing. If you notice, I don't have edits in my videos. When you watch them, I turn the camera on and I say what I want to say and hope for the best. Most of the time I know what I want to say, but a lot of times it's improvised because I'm putting on the record for you, listening to it, and giving you my thoughts about it as they come. Number 3, I think it helps to get a live reaction to the record so that each person that's watching my video feels like they're sitting in the room with me, listening to the music with me. So I try to make that personal. I even like to open the record for you guys on some of these, like when I get the Atlantic 75th or something like that. I like to open them up and show you taking it out so that you know that this is the first time I'm listening to this. And it, again, makes it more of a personal experience for you guys. So I like to get that live reaction as well. If I've listened to it before and the record's opened, I like to put it on the turntable and listen to it with you guys. 4, I like to give a little historical background to the recording. So when it was recorded, where it was recorded, a little background about the history of the record, what makes it unique, things like that. I think it's important also to let the viewer know what the recording equipment I'm listening to the record on. So, I'm listening to it on the Fluence with the RT85 with the Shipmoney preamp going into my Yamaha HS8 speakers. And I like to make sure, sometimes I forget to do it because I say it so often. I'm like, the same people are watching it, they're going to get tired of me saying the same thing over and over. But I do think that's important. So I do try to, before I put the record on, I like to tell you what I'm listening to it on so you can kind of gauge. And for those of you who have been watching this channel, I've just got mid-fi equipment here. It's nothing to brag about. It's, a $500 turntable with a $150 preamp with, not the speakers are pretty nice. Those Yamaha HS8 speakers aren't cheap speakers. They give me a nice, for this small room, a nice listening experience. And I think that if I can hear the difference on this type of a system, those of you that have even more expensive systems are going to even hear the differences more profoundly, I would think. So I think that also is critical to the record review. Number 6, I think that if you are sent a free record, which again, that has not happened for me, but if someone was to send me a free record, I think it's important that you tell your viewers that someone sent you this record and wanted you to review it. I also think that this should in no way impact how you're going to review a record. And it's human nature for someone send you something for free. It's human nature to kind of, I want to give a good review to this guy. And we all like to give positive reviews, but it's really doing a disservice, a twofold disservice, if you're biased in giving your record review. Number one, your viewers who are watching your video are going to be misled into thinking something's better than what it is. And that's something I would never want to do. I want to give you my honest opinion. You may not always agree with me, but I can promise you that what I'm telling you is what I honestly think. Number 2, it does a disservice to the company or the artist that's sending me the record. So if they send it to me and it sounds like crap or it's compressed sounding, and I leave a positive review, this sounds fantastic or whatever, that's doing a disservice to those guys. Because if you're putting out a record, if you're the band or you're the record company, well, if you get several people are telling you this doesn't sound so good, you're going to want to hear that feedback, and you're going to want to take that in consideration when you do your next record or next recording, figure out how to fix that. So I think that, these have to be honest reviews. And if you get free records sent to you, that has to be disclosed at the beginning of your record review, and you have to let that not affect your review in any way. Yeah, it has to be, if it doesn't sound good, you have to say, unfortunately, this doesn't sound good. And I recently mentioned that when I was talking about the new Black Crowes album, which I think is a great album musically. I really dig it. It sounds terrible on record. I mean, especially when you're listening to all these great recordings, analog recordings that are being reissued from the original analog tapes, and they sound so fantastic. The acoustic sounds, analog production stuff, Blue Note, whatever it is. And you listen to that and it sounds all compressed and muffly and everything. Well, that's what I have to say about it. And hopefully, if the record company or the Black Crowes happen to see the video or whatever, they'll be like, well, yeah, that kind of sucks. We need to make sure that we look at how this sounds when it comes out on record. If it doesn't sound good, we need to send it back and have it remastered or what have you for vinyl. Anyway, so that was number 6. Number 7, I think it's important to make the videos participation oriented, which is why I always ask for your comments and always welcome your comments. And although I'm offering my own personal viewpoint, I also learn a lot from you guys in the vinyl community, because no one person can know everything about vinyl records, all the different pressings and releases and gear and everything that's going on out there. It's really a community experience. My experience may be different from yours, but at least you can be assured that I'm giving you my honest opinion, my perspective on something. But it also gives you the freedom, hopefully, to feel like you can leave whatever comments you want that are respectful and that are helpful for the people who are going to be watching the video. That can look at the comments. A lot of people do look at the comments, and so anyways, I think that's important to make it participation oriented for you guys. Eight, for me, I like to cover multiple genres. And I do appreciate those channels out there that focus, for example, on jazz alone or progressive rock, for example. Those channels have their place because they're great for taking deep dives into those particular genres. And that requires a bit more focus on pressings. For example, if you're into jazz, heavily into jazz, you want to know the difference on all those different blue note pressings and things like that. That's important. And those channels have their place. So, for example, if I want to know something specific about jazz titles, I'll go to the Jazz Bums channel. I'll go to Ken Mikulov's Jazz Audiophile channel or the WCB Jazz Vinyl channel, for example. I'll go to those and watch their reviews because they're knowledgeable about that. And although I do also a lot of jazz reissue reviews, I love most genres of music. So you will see me doing other stuff. You'll see me doing some heavy metal. I did Bruce Dickinson review not long ago. I'll do classic rock reviews. I'll do even some country or bluegrass, just different things. And so I think that my reviews are a little bit more generalized than maybe those that are focused on a specific genre. So I'm trying to give you an overview of the record and give you enough information and then let you listen to it and talk about it and kind of give you an overview to help you decide if you want to purchase it, or again, to open up a platform for you to participate in your comments. Number 9, I think it's important to review modern releases. I think this is something that's sorely needed and it's not done enough. So on my channel, I do want to do more modern releases, reviews on those records. And I know a great deal of my videos are focused on reissues. I buy a lot of reissues, especially again in jazz or the Atlantic 75th. I just recently bought the Thelonious Monk from Acoustic Sounds. That'll be coming hopefully tomorrow. I'll be doing a full review on that box set. But I do think it's important to really help support the working artist. And so the last couple of reviews I've done have been on modern releases. So go check those out. I think those are important. The last 2 reviews I've done, the Billy Strings, and I did this Vera Sola review on this album. 2 modern reviews, and I think it's important to do those. So I will be doing more of those, and I want people to hopefully be more interested and open to buying modern records, even if they don't have the sound quality. I think most of them don't have the sound quality of what you would get on a lot of those records that were made back when analog recording was done. All right, so number 10, last but least, I think the videos have to be fun. They have to be engaging, but not too long. And I know I can go on and talk quite a bit, or sometimes I come across as being a DJ. I'm playing the songs, and sometimes I'm into the songs, and I'm sitting here with my head shaking and listening to the music, and I think about it, like someone's sitting here watching me, and they're probably like, this guy's boring or whatever. So I try to balance that of giving you the historical information, showing you the record, showing you the insert or the booklet that comes with it, talking about what I think, and at the same time letting you listen to the music for a bit as well. So that's something that I'm just, trying to learn how to do better, trying to make the videos more engaging for you guys and more fun. And again, they're fun for me to do and just to share the stuff with you guys. And again, it's a learning experience for me because you guys give me some great feedback a lot of times. And so I do appreciate that. But I think it's a balancing act of keeping it fun, keeping it informational, and at the same time, being able to play you the music and that so that you can hear. And a lot of times I've had people say they can hear the difference between, even though I'm just recording it, over YouTube and onto my iPhone, but that you guys can hear the difference between one pressing and another. Sometimes it's that big of a difference. It really is. So those are my 10 points there on what I consider to kind of be the art form of doing a record review for this channel, and kind of where my mind is at with the future of this channel with record reviews, and kind of why I do them the way that I do them. And again, once I get enough money, which is going to probably take a while, but I will use that money to buy a record, and I'll do a video or something to celebrate whatever it is that they actually pay you money on YouTube, whatever minimum amount that is, $100 or whatever, and then we'll decide together what record you guys want me to buy with that little bit of money, and I'll buy the record and we'll review it and have some fun with that. So again, I'm not here to make any money. It's a hobby for me, and I just appreciate you guys hanging out and with me, and you know, with these videos and giving your feedback. And one last thing is I do want to do more of those live streams, and that's kind of something that I'm not very good at doing or scheduling or getting, you know, it's probably just because people aren't interested in it as much to sit and watch a live stream. I don't know. So I've only done 2 live streams so far, and the last one I did was a bit more, was better than the first one I did. And I just think I need to do those more often and have some kind of a discussion. And I would like to have other people come in and participate. You know, sending a link and having you guys up on the screen with me. And there's a lot of great people out there in the vinyl community that I'd love to have on the channel just to talk about records, have some fun and learn from each other and things like that. So if any of you guys out there that have YouTube channels that are watching this and wanted to get together and do a video or something like that, or a live stream, let me know. I'm definitely up for that. And again, it's just, it's great for the community to learn from one another. And it's one of those hobbies that it's a lifelong hobby. And music is, again, one of those things that's universal and all of us can enjoy it, even have our difference of opinions and still get along, right? So I appreciate you guys joining me for this video, and I've got some upcoming more reviews coming up. I'll be reviewing that Thelonious Monk box set, the Riverside box set from Acoustic Sound, so I'm excited about that. Chad's been draining my pocketbook. I've been buying too many records. I do have a couple of newer releases that I'm going to do, and 2 of them, and again, I want to promote younger artists. These 2 Laura Cox albums, great modern rock albums. I'm going to do a review on each of these records. And so I'm excited to do that. And again, I ask you guys, some of you guys, to be open to some of this new music. And you might be surprised after hearing it that, oh, that's actually pretty good, or we should be supporting these artists. And anyways, I appreciate you joining me. Happy listening to all, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.